Hey guys, it's Todd with Put Media. Listen, maybe you've been doing your live stream recordings for a while at your church, but when you're listening back, you're going, man, this just doesn't quite sound like it does when we're in the sanctuary, right? Full disclosure, it is a completely different mix, but there are some things that we can do to help level up that recording and further immerse your audience into the live stream recording. So today we're going to talk about how you can level up by incorporating a crowd mic into your live stream mix. All right, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Todd with Quip Media, and our goal here is to equip churches with the training, tools, and tech to better share the gospel. All right, so today I want to talk about adding a crowd mic to your live stream mix. Whether you realize what you're listening to or not, any live recording of a band, of a venue, typically there's microphones that are in place inside of that venue to capture the ambience of the room or to capture the crowd. That means the applause, the laughter, the singing along with the songs, all of that stuff. But what happens when we stream our live streams more often than not, we've done everything that we could to get that stream out and available online, but some of the nuances that make a live recording sound like it sounds are not incorporated into our live stream. And that's what we want to talk about today, about incorporating a crowd mix into that live stream recording. When people are out listening online to your services, maybe in their car, maybe in their living room, wherever they might be, when they're listening, they're in a totally different environment. And it's our responsibility to bring that room to them, right? So that's not just the music and everything that's happening on stage, but it's also the ambience of the room, the crowd, the people that are actually engaging in the worship service. And so getting that feed or getting a microphone to capture that and feeding that into your broadcast mix is going to further enhance our listening experience online. All right, you got to remember there's a few things that are happening in a live room, right? There's the ambience that's in the room. There's the natural reverb and delay that we hear inside of the room. Subconsciously, when people walk in and they sit in the middle of your sanctuary and listen to your worship service, they're mixing the room in their heads, right? They notice that a singer or the band may be to the right of the stage or to the left of the stage. A singer is centered in the middle of the stage. Maybe somebody is on guitar and they're, kind of off center on stage. All of these things help us to actually mix the things that we're hearing in the room. We're also hearing somebody beside us. Maybe they're singing off key, but nevertheless, it's a part of the experience that's happening when you're in the room. So you want to take that experience and not overdo it, but make sure that it's going out as well as a part of your live stream broadcast. If you listen to very many live streams, they're not wrong when they are sometimes bland and maybe they seem sterile or somewhat empty. It's not that it's necessarily wrong. It's the fact that the audio is being captured directly from a mixer and it's a clean audio signal. If it's done right, the levels are good and it's an actual clean signal, but it's not the way things actually sound when you're in the environment. And so what we're trying to do with our live stream mixes is always to capture all the nuances that are happening inside of the environment. So sometimes that's artificial reverb and delay to put that back into the live stream, right? That enhances it a lot when you hear that. And for the purposes of this video, adding the crowd back to that mix, adding the ambience that's happening in the room back into that mix so that it feels better when people are watching it online. This doesn't just enhance the worship experience. So it isn't just the singing along with the songs and the applause and things like that, but it's everything that happens inside of that worship service. So how the audience engages with the speaker or the pastor, response to things that are being said inside of the sanctuary. So all of those things help the listeners or the viewers online to experience what's being experienced in the sanctuary at that time. So again, I don't want you to just think about what's happening during the worship set. This is also helpful and beneficial throughout the message or throughout any of the other things that would happen during your service. So listen, bringing this dynamic of a crowd mic into your live stream is going to add value to your live stream. And I don't have to tell you how important that is. All right, so let's get into the mic that we actually use at our church. This can be any microphone. It doesn't have to be a very expensive microphone. For the application that we're using it for, it doesn't have to cost a lot. It's not going to be something where you can really hear the quality of the microphone because this is going to be something that's mounted or something that's positioned in a place to capture the room ambience, right? This is a fairly inexpensive mic. I decided just to try it out because I was very pleased with Movo's shotgun mic that we use mounted to our camera. It's just a Movo microphone and it's mounted in the sanctuary and it's just here to capture the ambience that's in the room. You could have it on a stand. You could position it, wherever you want. This is just the way that we ended up doing it. I would recommend that you kind of mount it in a place that's out of the way of everyone else, though, or put it in a place that's not going to get, knocked over or bumped into and things like that during the service. So the way that we have it, we've mounted it in the sanctuary so that it's not in the way of anybody. And so we don't have to worry about traffic and things that might be happening around the microphone itself. So this is the Movo VSM-7. It's a large diaphragm, multi-pattern studio condenser microphone. It does come with the shock mount and the pop filter. We don't use it for our application, but it does come with that. It also comes with the XLR cable as well. If you're considering it, just know that those things come along with it, and I will put a link in the description. So we actually have our setup as a bidirectional, or sometimes called a figure 8 pattern, and it allows us to capture audio on both sides of the room. All right, so once you decide to make a microphone purchase, if you're going to purchase one, or maybe you have something that's already laying around that can be used for this purpose, and I'll be quite honest with you, it could have even been a regular stage microphone, because the application, the way that you're setting this up, you can crank up the input on this microphone. It's not being fed back into the house mix. It's only going out to the broadcast mix, and so you can get quite a bit of gain on that input. And you'd even notice on a stage microphone that you could capture some of the ambience that's happening in the room. So don't overthink the microphone. Just get something that's dedicated for doing the job. Now, that being said, something like that would be maybe a temporary workaround. But if you find this useful and you want to do it, I would make the investment in getting an inexpensive microphone for this purpose. You don't have to spend a lot of money these days on the gear. Things are very reasonably priced, but you do have to make some sort of an investment. All right, so basically just to kind of give you an idea of how we utilize this crowd microphone. First things you got to make sure is that you have the bandwidth to actually put that crowd microphone into your broadcast mix. So, finding a designated channel on your mixing board if you're using a separate mixing board for that. We basically run it into the X32. It's not going back into the house, and so we don't have to worry about it creating feedback or anything like that. We're actually capturing directly into Logic and then streaming that mix out to the broadcast in real time. And we're loving that whole thing, and so later on I'm going to post some more videos to show you guys how we're actually doing that. So you just want to make sure that it's turned up enough to where you do hear it in the mix, and then back it out maybe 2 to 3 decibels to make sure that it's something that's coming in that's enhancing the recording and that it doesn't become overly noticeable. So that's how you can incorporate a crowd mic into your broadcast mix. So listen guys, we hope this helped, and if it did, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you in the next video.